Hey there, I'm Alexandra Harbushka, founder of Life With Herpes. Today we're going to talk about foods that nourish your body when dealing with a herpes diagnosis. All right, so food and what we put in our body has always been a big deal, right? It's something that, you see all over magazine ads or in the news or on social media, like eat this, don't eat this fuels this doesn't do that. As we know that food can either, fuel our body in a positive way, or it can actually make us sicker. So there's a lot going around with food that's really important, and that's the same that goes for dealing with herpes and ways to help prevent outbreaks and ways to speed up recovery with outbreaks, and also some foods that fuel herpes outbreaks. Now, before we go any further, I want you to know that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. I have no background whatsoever in this other than what I live and what I've lived every day from things I've spoken to doctors about, my naturopath, nutritionist, all of that. So I definitely have learned on my own, but I am also not a doctor. So if you have specific questions about this, I really entice you and invite you to go speak to a medical professional that you like and trust. So before we get into exactly what foods, I want to back up and talk a little bit about lysine and arginine. If you haven't heard about it, I do have other videos that you can go check out where I also go really into detail about it. But what lysine and arginine are is they're an essential amino acid, meaning it's a protein. The difference between being just an amino acid and an essential amino acid means that we have to consume it from our foods. We don't make it, or it doesn't just produce in our body. We actually have to go consume it from the foods that we eat. Now, they're essential. We have to have them, we have to consume them. We can't say I don't want to have that in my life. No, it's something that we have to have. So let's talk first about arginine. Arginine, again, is essential amino acid. It's really, really helpful for cardiovascular health. It's great for vascular health. It's great for erectile dysfunction. It actually is also great for wound healing. It's also great, it enhances your athletic performance. So it is really essential and important. Now let's talk a little bit about lysine. Lysine is great for ligaments, it's great for joints, it helps our bodies metabolize calcium. So again, that's also really important. So why am I talking about lysine and arginine and telling you why they're super great and important? Well, one of them fuels herpes and the other one actually kind of suffocates it. So arginine has the ability to kind of get the viruses into replication mode. So in other ways, it's like miracle grow for the herpes virus. When you live in when your body's in a high arginine, or you consume a lot of arginine, then it's this food for the herpes virus. It loves it. It goes, ooh, I get to replicate. It's exciting, ooh, mom and dad are out of town, we can have a big party, right? It's kind of like that. On the flip side, lysine suffocates it. It actually blocks the arginine kind of fueling the herpes virus. So it does a lot. You can use arginine, you can use lysine topically, you can on an actual outbreak, or you can take supplements daily, as well as you can consume foods that are really high in lysine. So again, when I first heard this, I was like, I'm never gonna have arginine ever again. Well, that's not possible. Kind of what I was talking about earlier in the video is that this is something that's essential. We have to have it in our life. But what we can do is we can consume foods that are higher in lysine and lower in arginine. When we do have outbreaks, I personally try to really watch my lysine to arginine ratio, and it is really helpful. It does help kind of heal the outbreak faster. So here are some foods that are really high in lysine. We have eggs. We have any type of dairy. Dairy is really high in lysine as well. Fish, if you are a seafood lover, I think I'm part fish, I love fish, it's really high in lysine. Salmon, sardines, halibut, tuna, they're all really high in lysine. Shellfish, also really high in lysine. Potatoes are high in lysine. Lean protein is high in lysine. Trying to think if I missed anything. Consuming vegetables are also great. When I say vegetable, I mean a vegetable. We think tomatoes, tomatoes are good for you too, but we think of tomatoes as a vegetable, but it's a fruit. So when I say vegetables, I mean spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, like those are vegetables. They don't contain seeds. So those are also really high in lysine. Now on the flip side, here's some things that we should maybe avoid when we have outbreaks or that are high in arginine. So coffee. So like the coffee bean itself is high in arginine. So if we think, oh, I'll drink decaf, no, it's the bean itself. Sugar just as a whole, we should try to avoid. It's not so much that it's arginine, but like sugar lowers our immune system. And then when we have an outbreak, we don't want a lower immune system. We want an immune system that's like operating at full capacity. Okay, coconut. This one is, because you can eat coconut a lot of different ways. There's coconut water, milk, meat, and oil. So the coconut milk and the coconut, like the meat that you would like put on a German chocolate cake or something, that coconut is high in arginine. On the flip side, the water and the oil is high in lysine. So you kind of want to look at the type of coconut that you're consuming. Okay, this one is always really hard for me. It's chocolate. Like, chocolate is high in arginine. Now, I still eat chocolate. I had some before this video. I probably have some on my face still. I love chocolate, right? And nuts. This is another really hard one. So nuts and peanuts, and they are not the same thing. I forget exactly what a peanut is, but it's not a nut. I know a lot of people that are like, I can't even look at a peanut, like it'll just cause an outbreak. So if you're getting lots of outbreaks and you're consuming a lot of peanut butter, that could be a huge trigger. Same with nuts, all types of nuts. Some are very different than others, so you might wanna play around and see what kind of works in your body. I think I hit them all. Sugar, oh, alcohol. Again, that's not necessarily arginine, but alcohol can lower our immune system. That's something that you might wanna just maybe cut back on if you are having an outbreak. Okay, so with this all said, I do not want you to feel like, oh, I can't even have like a handful of almonds, I'm starving, or I can never eat a cookie again, or I can never go to Starbucks and get my venti latte. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying look at your diet, see what's going on. If you're not getting outbreaks, then like you're doing fine. If you're getting multiple outbreaks and you're trying to figure out what's happening, there might be some food triggers in your diet that are triggering these outbreaks. Like I said earlier, you can also consume Lysine supplements. That's something I did and it was really helpful. I probably was on them for like 5 years. I'm not on them now because of being pregnant and breastfeeding. They say don't do that. So I still haven't gotten back to it. I want to. But taking Lysine supplements are super helpful as well. Obviously talk to your doctor, but typically it's about 1,000 milligrams daily of lysine. And when you have an outbreak, up to 3,000 milligrams to help kind of suppress it. My favorite place to get the supplements are from NaturalCure Labs. I love NaturalCure Labs. That's also where you can get your Monolaurin. They have an immune boost supplement. But specifically speaking at lysine, I do have it linked for you. You can order it through them. And if you use the promo code LWH in all caps, I have it for you linked and below and all that. If you use the promo code LWH, you do get 10% off, which is also super helpful. All right, guys, let me know what questions you have, lysine, arginine, all that stuff. I love to answer them. And I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.